Good morning, everybody, and a very warm welcome to Mildenhall and Districts. And today is a very special video indeed. This is going to be the last video before Susanna's Christmas cracker. So that'll be my Christmas video. It was supposed to be the Christmas cracker video, but since there's a couple of bits that have turned up, like I said, the exhibition last week, and then this video today. But the next video will definitely be Susanna's Christmas cracker. Now, the reason why I'm putting this video out is because of one very special YouTuber. And before I get on to him, I need to sort of just give a huge mention to everybody involved with my layout, because the YouTuber I'm going to be talking about today, it has not been the only person who's contributed to this layout, but he is a very special man. But many of you have contributed to my layout, and I'm eternally grateful for that, for everyone who's contributed. And I don't mean just by giving stuff, but also commenting. And I appreciate all the comments that people have left, but I've also appreciated those people who have given me things along the way. And you know, there's quite a few people to mention, but and forgive me if I forget. Like I said, I've got Tony Northeastern, Gary, there's Alan over at Dragon Junction, there's Danny at South Line, Southern Line, there was Rachel at Mini Western Junction. I don't know if I've mentioned John Warner, but if I haven't, John Warner too. There's so many people who have contributed to this layout, and I am extremely grateful. Now, one person in particular I'd like to talk about and thank in today's video is Michael Lawrence. I've kept sort of going on about this layout called Warren Lane, but I have to keep saying it because it's been a massive inspiration to this layout. And that's how I know Michael Lawrence. It was through my conversations with him about Warren Lane, and he's been a subscriber of mine for a long time. I've met his son too, and also Alan Bevan, who's also commented on my videos, who was also part of the Warren Lane layout, which is no longer on the exhibition circuit, but it was a fantastic layout. And when I was sort of, and this is going back some, because you do have other container layouts around, but in all honesty, the container layouts that are around at the moment sort of got bits and pieces of container. They're not really so much dedicated as Warren Lane was. Warren Lane was pretty much a dedicated container layout. Anyway, and I just wanted to just say thank you to Michael, because Michael has sent me this. Now, I haven't opened this yet, although I do know what it is to a point, because there's still something in my mind that's kind of, I wasn't quite sure about, and well, I guess I'll find out. And but this arrived on Monday. Today's Wednesday. I've been really excited about opening this, but I haven't really had the chance to open it because of my work commitments. And today is the day, because I am due to work, but I'm due to work later on this afternoon. So I wanted to quickly get this part of it done and have a look at what is inside. I do know what's inside to a point, like I said, but before we go there, I just wanted to kind of show you what he's done for me previously and why I thank him a lot, because the pieces I'm about to show you are very unique to this layout. And it's something that I always try and get across when I talk about other people's layouts and things like that. I do like the individuality of people's layouts, you know. So when you go to exhibitions and things like that, you're not sort of going, oh, that's a Hornby building, that's a Bachmann building, this is, you know, and it's kind of like, oh, you go to another layout, oh, that's the same building, that's another Hornby, that's another. I do like it when you've got individual pieces on layouts, because it just brings the character to the layout because it gives it its own individuality. So some time ago, Michael had kindly done a number of things. It all started out with, I guess I should say where it all started, because on Warren Lane layout, he originally had, or there was originally, a Freightliner Arctic, and I inquired about it, and I can't remember exactly how it went, but basically it ended up with me having one made, and he kindly did this for me, and I have to say it is absolutely superb. And this was the original start of it, and this is this Freightliner Scania with a driver on. They had a paper. It's got the Welsh flag at the back, and it also came with a trailer. He also did a trailer for me, and also it came with a container on it as well to go with it. And like I said, it's probably still one of my favourite pieces, because it was the thing that set me off originally, was this Arctic. Albeit it was a Mercedes one on Warren Lane, this is actually a Scania. I think it then ended up, I can't remember exactly the timeline, but a further 2 Arctics turned up that I'd spoken to him about. And I'd sent him some pictures, and I asked him if it was possible. And Michael said it wasn't, so I'm just doing a bit of a clean because they've been sitting on the layout for a little while now. They're a bit dusty. But basically, he ended up doing another 2 containers with 2 trailers. The 2 trailers were 2 plain white ones, like that, which he made for me. And he also sent me and made for me 2 Scanias in the 1 livery. Here's the white one with the white cab, which is absolutely excellent. And it's also got a driver in this one as well. And it's got the other thing I should mention is it's got the reg plates, the lights, and all the detail on the back, the hoses. Absolutely fabulous work, honestly. And then the other one was, let me just give that a bit of a going over since I'm here, was the one with the pink cab. And that's ace. So, you know, he's contributed so much to this layout and individuality. Something else that came, now forgive me, this is very, very dusty indeed. These things are like dust magnets, they really are. They just sort of pick up so much dust. So I'll just give this a quick going over before now, I also mentioned to him about the Straddler. Now, those of you who've recently been following my video will know that I've been going on about the Straddler for a little while now. And I've been very fortunate to pick up this Straddler from Michael, which came directly off Warren Lane layout, which has so much added meaning because it's actually come off of that layout, which is absolutely brilliant. And I've seen lots of videos on these. So this is the original one that came off the layout. So this leads me on to the box. This box. Because this box arrived, like I said, on Monday. I haven't had a chance to deal with it till today. And basically, a little while ago, I was talking about having another Straddler made, or possibly me making my own. That was kind of what I was toying with. Those were the 2 ideas that I was kind of toying with. my TV. And since my conversation with Michael, and I was asking him about the wheels and where'd you get certain parts for it that he'd made and used for this particular original straddler, he has kindly made me another, and that is what's in this box. And I'm so grateful, and I'm so looking forward to seeing it. I've been waiting some time for this, and I've been sort of, it's been sitting in my corridor for a couple of days because, like I said, I haven't had the time to deal with it. So now's the time to deal with it and see what it's about. Because he did send me some photographs of it in progress, but obviously not the finished item. So I have no idea what the finished item looks like. And I'm going to do it here because I don't normally do unboxings, but this is when it's kind of special like this, I kind of like just see what it's like in front of me. I'm really excited. Like I said, because I want to leave the camera running because it's like you get the true reflection of the joy or whatever the reaction is. And to be honest, my first impression when I got the box was, oh, it seems like a rather big box for, I mean, I guess, I'm sure he's well protected it. So, well, it's definitely well protected. That's definitely for sure. All right. It's very, thank you. Sorry, that was just, he left me a note, so it's just a quick, sorry, I'm sure you're all kind of going, oh. I want to be careful because I'm not entirely 100% certain. As you can see, it's very well packaged. All right, just carefully. There seems to be a few other bits and pieces, which I'm not sure what they are exactly. So let's have a look. So that seems to be everything. This is very exciting. Okay, which do we go for first? I guess we've got to go for the big prize, eh? I mean, it is so well packaged. So I'm really sort of, because you do get concerned with things like this because you think to yourself they can be a bit fragile. But it is so well packaged. You guys are probably going yelling like me, hurry up, come on, I want to see. Right, so let's just slice that. And hopefully I can just sort of, because it's one of those things that I just got to be so careful with because I don't want to end up inadvertently damaging it by cutting into the wrong thing. Do you know what I mean? Right, okay. Cool. Right, okay. Now, I'm just checking to see something along with the other one, because I think that the oh wow, oh right, okay, so there's a little container, right, there's a little, okay, so I'm just trying to work out the ins and outs of this without, because I think the spreader just needs to be re-glued. So I think that's how it came. And then that's it there. So that's the new one. So yeah, the spreader needs to be reattached, which isn't a big deal, because that obviously is quite fragile. But yeah, that's it. That's the new one, which is cool. Number 12. And it's actually, this one's actually got a little bloke in it. So yeah, this definitely needs to be re-glued, which is not, like I said, it's not the end of the world. Thing is, the spreader is so fragile. You have to be a bit careful with it. But yeah, he actually apologised to me for the, I'm just going to remove the spreader. At least this way you can actually have a look at the spreader, the detail in it. It just needs to be glued to the bars across the top. But it's got actually a little man on it. No, I've only just noticed it says number 12 on the side of it. I didn't even notice that before. That is so cool. Oh, thank you so much. It's very, very similar to the original one that was built. And in fact, I don't even know what the height is. The height is pretty much identical. And yeah, oh, there was a bloke. There's a little man inside and he's got a little controller. So there's two of them. And it's just ace. Yeah, that's super. Like I said, I'm not so fussed that this has come away, because it is very, very kind of, like I said, it just needs to be glued and secured back into place, which, to be honest with you, it's a very small piece of where you attach the glue to this. So I'm once that's all glued back in, that's fine. But that is amazing. And it's actually got a working beacon by the looks of things, because what he's done, he's made a little lid for this, and then you just put a little battery in there. So he's put the battery, because on the original one that he kindly did for me, I think it's actually this way around. Yeah, it's this way around. I put it the wrong way around. Because on the original one, the battery, the beacon was actually attached, the battery was put in there within the container. Let me take the base out. So that is absolutely superb. And I wanted another one, and there's no way in the world that I could have done this. This just looks amazing. That is so cool. Now, he apologised to me because he put on the note, I apologise because it isn't a brand new container, but I actually prefer it that it isn't a brand new container, because it's like this container here. It's like this weathered look. I'm just grateful that he's done it for me, and I'm just like absolutely blown away. It just looked, to be honest, I'm just looking at the differences between the two, and they're really, really cool. Excellent. Number 5 is the one that's come from Warren Lane, and this one's equally as special because it's actually specifically built for Milton Hall Districts. So that is so cool. That is so cool. I'm so pleased with that. Well chuffed. Right. Now, when he said to me he was going to do the straddler, I was just grateful the fact that he was going to do the straddler for me. Now, there are some other bits and pieces here, and I have no idea what these bits and pieces are. He did say that he's got something planned, but I some time ago, but I wasn't too sure, because all I was talking about was the straddler. So we've now come, I'm not exactly sure what all these little bits are. So a complete surprise to me what these are, and I have no idea, but I'm going to open them up carefully. As I am intrigued. That is cool. Now I assume that he's made this, and this has got evergreen logos on it. So I'm not entirely certain what this is, but one assumes that it's like a storage for the container to go on top of and sit on. Now whether I think what it's used for is they've got another little, I think I've seen them, I'm going to do a little bit more research, but there is another way of transporting these containers around the not just through the straddlers, but it's also like a rack. So I'm assuming they drop this down on the rack, and then maybe the straddler comes over to pick it up, which is what I think. I'm not 100% certain. I definitely wasn't expecting this, but it just looks cool. I think I have a rough idea. I will be doing some more research on YouTube. And Michael, now I've opened it, and if you comment on this, then you can let me know exactly what they're used for. But oh my goodness, that is so cool. Now, and this is the thing, this all adds to the realism of the layout. It adds to the realism. So, and because you haven't seen the layout as such in its entirety as yet, it gives me an opportunity to try and work out exactly what these are and where to place these and how I'm going to fit them in, and hopefully. And he's done another one, and this time it's like Hapag-Lloyd, and I do actually have a Hapag-Lloyd container somewhere. I don't know whether it, now this is right, okay, I guess this is for 20 foots or something, but it's just, yeah, that is so cool. So that's wicked. The detail is great. Like I said, I'm not 100% certain what it's used for. I do have a sort of recollection through my research that I've seen these knocking about on container terminals, but I haven't really got an idea of how they exactly use these, so I need to work out. But that is absolutely fabulous. And then there's this, which I have no idea what this is either. Wow, there's so much stuff. Well, I guess it was my birthday and it came just in time. Got to be careful because I'm unwrapping this, but because I don't know what's inside. It's one of the days you don't know what's inside. So you kind of like, you've got to be careful how I handle it because I don't want to. So much wrapping here. Right, I think we're getting there. It's like pass the parcel, this is. And my apologies if I'm not really looking at the camera, I'm just trying to. Oh my. Oh wow. Sorry, you guys are probably like, God, show me. It's an excavator on what's like a tray. So I guess this is like another container load. I think they use these kind of things for odd. I don't think they use. It's sort of coming back to me. I think they sort of have these odd kind of trays, as it were, or I don't know. I can't remember what the term they use, but they use this for like odd loads. Because I remember seeing it where you know, stuff that doesn't fit quite on a container, they kind of use a base and they kind of fit it in like this. Oh wow. Oh my, wow. Jeez. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you. I'd spoken to him about the straddler, and the straddler in itself was amazing. And these little extra sort of bits here, what it does is it just enhances the layout. It's extra details that go onto the layout. It's extra individuality that goes onto the layout. I've got to find out where I'm going to put them now, and how they actually work as such. But yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to quickly get this glued up, and then I will come back to you so you can actually see it. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. And what I'm going to do for that is use my trusty glue gun, because that will fit it straight away. So I'll be back with you shortly. So welcome back. And I've got my trusty glue gun out, and I've just glued that back on. So now we've got two straddle carriers. I'm so excited. Number 5 and number 12. How cool. I'm really pleased now. Oh, wow. Like I said, I did speak to him about it. There's some subtle, they look very similar to the two straddle carriers, but there are some differences, which I totally understand, because it's been, I can't remember what, I couldn't tell you when Michael made the first one as compared to the one he's just made for me. But, they are both awesome, and they're both very similar, but they're both awesome. And like I said, they both have equally special meaning, because like I said, one's come from Warren Lane and one's been built specifically for Milton Hall and Districts. And I'm really, really pleased. I think, I've left one of the other bits on the layout. But to have these additional bits as well, all adds to the detail and all adds to the effect of the layout. And I'm just so pleased and so grateful. Thank you so much, Michael, for everything you've done. Like I said, these 3 bits, these 2 plus the other freestanding one with the crane, those are basically bonuses, because I really wasn't expecting those. I know he did mention to me he'd probably be sending me something extra, but to me, I was just grateful that he was going to give me the straddler and do the straddler for me. And thank you so much, Michael, for doing the straddler. Number 12 is now ready for the layout. So yeah, that is absolutely superb. And that concludes the end of this video. Like I said, the next one is going to be Susanna's Christmas cracker, and I think it will be, because there's going to be something on the next video which personally I haven't seen done anywhere on anybody else's layout, and it will give you a totally different perspective of my layout. So I'm hoping that you'll enjoy that. The layout isn't quite ready yet. There's still a fair amount to do before that. The main part of it is to do with the lighting. I've really got to crack on and get the lighting off for the Christmas cracker video, because that's what's holding me back at the minute. There's a lot of lighting that I took up from the old container layout, and I'm now having to reposition, rewire onto this new version. So that's what's going to take the time, and has been taking the time. I have been making a start. So thank you so much to everybody, and I mean everybody, who's contributed to my layout. I am so grateful. And a special thank you to Michael Lawrence for making this absolutely superb second straddler for me. And all that's going to do is now inspire me to get back on the internet when I've got the time to get onto the internet, to do some more additional research onto not only the straddlers but also the uses of these things, to try and make it as believable or as authentic. I do believe that these things are generally used not for containers, but for odd sized products that don't necessarily fit onto containers. Oversized, I think they call it oversized. There's like a jig or something, I can't remember, but I have seen these around, so I will have to look into it now. So until the next video, it's goodbye from Mildenhall Districts. Bye bye.